the mere fact that if you survey a group of people, you'll find the majority citing homegrown tomatoes as their favorite vegetable. Tomatoes are the #1 vegetable grown in home gardens. Given tomatoes' popularity, it's surprising how the same issues can stump the beginning to novice gardener year after year. With a quick lesson, I'll show you how proper nutrients, attention to environmental factors, and cultivar selections can improve your backyard tomato game. To grow great tomatoes, you have to start with decent soil. Soil contains both macro and micronutrients. All of the 3 big macronutrients of gardening are important for tomato growth. These are represented by N, P, and K on a package of fertilizer. Nitrogen, or the N, is important for tomato growth from the roots all the way through the foliage. Phosphorus, or the P, is used by the plant in the production of flowers. The potassium, or K, is used by the plant in fruit production. When you plant the tomato, place a handful of well-rotted compost in the planting hole or amend the soil with basic vegetable fertilizer, and you will most likely cover the 3 macronutrients unless your soil has a severe deficiency. There are also many micronutrients in the soil, the only which we need to worry about for tomatoes being magnesium. Magnesium is most likely deficient in alkaline soils like ours here in northern Nevada. Magnesium is important because it helps the growth of the tomato by assisting in the uptake of nitrogen and phosphorus. An easy way to provide a tomato plant with magnesium is to place 1 tablespoon of Epsom salts in the planting hole at planting time, and to dissolve 1 tablespoon in a gallon of water and water the tomato every month. And rest assured, Epsom salts, they're not really salts. You're not going to accumulate salt. After addressing nutrients, we turn to environmental factors, which have many influences on how tomato plants grow, some of which we can control, and others which we just have to accept. For many years, I worried when I saw my little yellow tomato blossoms falling from the plants. I would pour on more fertilizer, I would adjust the way I watered the tomato, and every day I would go out there and I would poke at the flowers and they would fall. Until one day, they just wouldn't. I found out eventually that tomatoes are sensitive to cold and will not set fruit below 55 to 60 degrees, with the huge slicing tomatoes that I love growing being the most susceptible to these cold temperatures. In northern Nevada, our cold desert nights will not reach above 55 degrees for quite some time in the summertime. I still poke, but I don't worry. But the factor you should worry about that wreaks havoc is uneven watering. Here's why. Tomato skins are composed of calcium, which acts as glue at the cellular level. Calcium is obtained by the tomato plant through the soil and is transported through the tomato plant via water, and it is transported very, very slowly. If a surplus of water follows a period of drought, then you're going to get cracking in the tomato skin because that glue is going to be less elastic. If the drought spell is long enough, the tomato will experience such a dearth of calcium that the skin at the bottom of the tomato will actually break down. This is called blossom end rot, and it looks like the tomato is actually rotting on top. The best treatment for blossom end rot is to pick the tomato so that the plant directs its energies to other fruit, and to water more evenly and plant or place water-retaining mulch around the tomato plant. The same treatment is the same for a slit in the tomato, except you don't need to pick it until the tomato's ripe. After making sure that their tomato plants are big and healthy, the next concern most gardeners have is making sure that the tomatoes taste great. Tomato taste can be manipulated in a very easy fashion, through stress. In Italy, gardeners have been known to water their tomato plants with salt water. However, for whatever flavor gains that you make, you're going to be accumulating salt in your soil, which is not a good thing. Another form of stress is drought. And this is very common in wine vineyards. And just like with the grapevine, drought is going to concentrate the flavor in the tomato, but it's going to reduce the yield of that plant for the rest of the growing season. Another strategy is to grow plants nearby that are known to have favorable interactions with the tomato plants. Garlic, basil, and carrots are all known to have effects on the flavor, though by really modest measures. I have found that the best way to influence taste is to grow tasty varieties of tomatoes in the first place. Tasty varieties are discovered through the best science experiment possible, growing every variety of tomatoes you can get your hands on. This is best accomplished through growing the tomatoes from seed because you can get any variety of tomato through seed. You can get very few through plants. It may take me many years to get through the thousands of varieties of tomatoes out there, but I can tell you that I already found my favorite, which is Aunt Ruby's German green tomato. And when you're looking at tomato varieties, forget planting the early varieties, those that mature in 55 days or less. You may get your tomatoes 2 weeks earlier, but you're going to give out a lot in taste. I hope I've shown you how growing awesome, enviable backyard tomatoes should be easy. Watch the health of your soil and amend when necessary. Learn what factors you can control, like blossom end rot, and those you just have to accept, like blossom drought. Try growing every variety of tomato you can get your hands on. Eventually, you too will be held as a backyard tomato goddess.